There have already been a few October surprises. The big one that was planned by Donald Trump's extended goon squad was the Hunter Biden thing. And that thing is a lot of different things. Nobody really seems to know, but the New York Post was sure that it was something. And so they took this story given to them literally by Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon and just said, let's run with it. And it turns out that might not have been the best choice, because follow-up reporting of the process that eventually resulted in this big New York Times Hunter Biden thing is showing that there might have been a few problems with it. So let's go through a little bit of what was sort of an issue with that story's publication. The New York Post front page article about Hunter Biden last Wednesday was written mostly by a staff reporter who, it turns out, refused to put his own name on it, according to two New York Post employees. This is Bruce Golding, a reporter that's been there since 2007, didn't allow his byline to be used because he had concerns over the article's credibility. Remember, the article he had just written, and by the way, all of these sources are anonymous because they're worried about retaliation, which they definitely should be. So the article suggested that Joe Biden had used his position to enrich his son Hunter when he was vice president. The Post based the story on photos and documents the paper said was taken from the hard drive of a laptop reportedly belonging to Hunter Biden. And if you haven't been following this, that's good for your sanity. Effectively, the story is that Hunter Biden apparently decided to go to a tiny little laptop repair store that isn't anywhere near where he lives, and he gave them a laptop with a bunch of sensitive material on it, and then just never went back and got it again. Maybe that's a thing. There's other issues, but Francesca, this is the first that we're talking about this story on the channel. We're gonna go to some more of the credibility issues, but what's your thinking about this so far?
I mean, this story broke, I believe, on the same night and the same day of the dueling town halls. And I saw some mainstream outlets like MSNBC try to make it an issue. And immediately the first line is found in pawn shop, left by Hunter Biden. And you're like, okay, this is fake. Like, what is this? And even if it were real, it definitely wasn't found in a pawn shop. So my initial reaction was, are we really doing this again? Like, are we actually going to uncritically accept some random ridiculous story about yet more hacked emails, right? Like, okay, here we go, like clockwork. So I was really disappointed in it, and I'm happy now that we're learning a little bit more of the context about how it came about.
Yeah, exactly. And look, you've already given the, I guess, the caveat. I'll give the caveat too. If it's real, here's the thing. Like the WikiLeaks emails back in 2016 were real. As far as we know, every single one of them was authentic. Hypothetically, something could come out of them that would be really devastating. But we do need to understand the meta media narrative of there being a lot of a thing that you keep rolling out a little bit at a time of, which, remember, like, I haven't said anything about the substance of whatever the hypothetical I'm talking about is, but doesn't it seem like there's something? There's a lot of it, and now there's a little bit more coming out, and that's what happened with WikiLeaks. You know, people rolled out one email a day for literally months, got a bunch of like views, and Fox News loved it. So that's happening now for this too, with Fox News, like taking each of the individual new emails that come out that like are like text conversations between Hunter and Joe, where Joe says that he loves him or something, and it's very scandalous, and it's very shocking.
That are like really moving, like Hunter Biden texting his dad from rehab, being like, "I've ruined your campaign. I'm so sorry." This is obviously like a year ago, and then his dad just waking up being like, "Good morning, son. I love you, and I miss you a lot." You know, like, oh my God,
yeah.
This is supposed to be damning to Joe Biden, okay? Because I think it somehow makes me like him, and I'm not totally not that person to fall for the decency thing. But anyway, it makes me like, oh God, Dad, you know, Dad.
I think that some people feel freed up to want to pretend that there's more than there isn't, because hey, it's okay to attack Joe because he's up by so much, or like, oh God, like we've been so critical of Trump, we got to find something to be critical. Here's the thing, there's well-established historical things about Joe Biden have a problem with that we've talked about literally ad nauseum. We're not under any sort of obligation to pretend that nonsense is more serious than it is. Like, if you want to zoom out 500 miles, do I think that Joe Biden has done things to benefit his family? Probably. I assume all of them do because they're politicians. They're not my buddy. I don't play Fortnite with them. We don't have that sort of relationship. I'm very critical of them, but also understand that this isn't the first pass we're taking at the Ukraine thing. There's been any number of different Senate investigations and House investigations and all that stuff. Honestly, I don't know how they haven't found more because there's gotta be something there. But what I don't think is there is probably anything found in a blind guy's pawn shop. It just doesn't make sense. And it's gonna make even less sense as we go through a bit more of the caveats. But before we do that, anything more on this?
I mean, I think once again, we have to, from as progressives, as people on the left, remember the moment that we're in, remember the stakes, and also remember, like, let's not wake up and do what mainstream media does and wake up sort of a fresh little baby every day that's forgotten everything and has forgotten that this president was impeached for trying to solicit Ukraine by withholding funds, right? Like to that country to be like, no, give me a little bit more on Hunter Biden. Like, are we that dumb that now, 7 months later, when like somehow miraculously a pawn shop has found a few emails, we'll be like, oh, there it was. And it's like, no, y'all, like let's remember what's going on. Let's remember the reality here.
Well, that seems reasonable, but the whole Ukraine thing was a long time ago. What the Democrats should have done is really drive it into people's consciousness, like by maybe impeaching the president over literally this thing. But no, still people can't remember it. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.